西法尼亚州上空的一架747客机坠毁，但是这架客机坠毁是否和这次恐怖主义活动有关系，目前还不清楚。国会大厦也发生了爆炸，美国国务院发生了汽车爆炸案。据五角大楼说，他们监视到了第2架可能被劫持的飞机。目前呢，五角大楼已经有24000名雇员被疏散了。纽约和华盛顿的通信系统已经瘫痪，电话很难打进去，也很难打出来。联合国总部、美国国务院、司法部和位于华盛顿的所有联邦机构建筑都在进行疏散。白宫附近部署了武装部队进行守卫。美国已经下令停止美国领空所有飞行。以色列呢，已经开始撤走在美国的所有。
What can you tell us about this situation?
Hello?
Yes, Sean, you're on the air right now. Go ahead. What can you tell us?
I just witnessed a plane that appeared to be cruising slightly lower than normal altitude over New York City, and it appears to have crashed into, I don't know which tower it is, but it hit directly in the middle of one of the World Trade Center towers.
Sean, what kind of plane? Was it a small plane, a jet?
It was a jet. Looked like a 2-engine jet, maybe a 737.
You're talking about a large passenger commercial jet.
A large passenger commercial jet.
And where were you when you saw this?
I am on the 21st floor of 5 Penn Plaza.
Did it appear that the plane was having any difficulty flying?
Yes, it did. It was teetering back and forth, wingtip to wingtip, and it looks like it has crashed into probably 20 stories from the top of the World Trade Center, maybe the 80th to 85th floor. There's smoke billowing out of the World Trade Center.
Sean, what happened next? Does it appear to you that the plane is still inside the World Trade Center?
From my angle, I'm viewing south towards the Statue of Liberty and towards the World Trade Center. It looks like it is embedded in the building. I can't see from my vantage point whether it has come out the other side.
Sean, what about on the ground? Or any debris that is hit down there? Can you see
my vantage point is too far from the World Trade Center to make any determination of that.
Did you see any smoke, any flames coming out of the engines of that plane?
No, I did not. The plane just was coming in low, and the wingtips tilted back and forth, and then it flattened out. It looks like it's hit at a slight angle into the World Trade Center. I can see flames now coming out the side of the building, and smoke continues to billow.
Well, generally, is that a traffic area in New York for aircraft?
It is not a normal flight pattern. I'm a frequent traveler between Atlanta and New York for business, and it is not a normal flight pattern to come directly over Manhattan. Usually they come up either over the Hudson
train, and there was a huge explosion sound. Everyone came out. A large section of the building is blown out around like the 80th floor.
Was it hit by something, or was it something inside?
It was inside. Because it looked out. Everything was coming out. All the windows were coming out. All the papers were
What is on the sidewalk?
I didn't see anything.
Were there any people hurt, do you know?
I just ran, and everyone in the path train just ran. I don't know if anyone was hurt, but I assume they were because the windows were all blown out.
All right, thank you.
Ollie, you would have to assume a very, very terrible situation if that indeed is the case.
喺現場望埋去，係睇到世界貿易中心嘅上空咧，見到個大樓咧上面係被嚴重撞毀嘅，咁不斷有濃煙冒出嚟。好清楚見到有架飛機係撞咗埋去世貿中心頂端嘅地方，咁似乎係發生咗爆炸嘅。上空不斷有俾濃煙籠罩住㗎。我哋再睇多一次飛機撞埋去世貿大樓嘅情況。咁見到有大量嘅火光湧向紐約市嘅上空。咁而家睇到最新嘅影片啦，見到世貿大樓嘅頂端啦，四方八面都係俾濃煙籠罩住㗎，咁不斷繼續有煙係湧出嚟。咁有目擊者話啦，曾經聽到爆炸聲，咁飛機撞埋去之後咧，亦都係引起咗大火。暫時唔知道呢一件事件嘅起因，咁當時飛埋去嘅到底係咩飛機呢？仲未有正式嘅公佈㗎。
You've been listening to some of the coverage provided for us by our affiliate WABC out of New York City. Let's go now and check our other affiliate WNBC to get the latest. I'm sorry, WNYW here, live coverage here of this amazing picture we're getting from Lower Manhattan. 2 planes, one hitting each of the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center.
They come by and they say, what happened, what happened? And you just got to say something hit the building and then something hit both buildings.
Well, we saw clearly, we didn't see the first one, but we saw clearly that a plane deliberately crashed into one of the upper floors of the World Trade Center. That was the second plane. So 2 planes crashed into the upper floors of each of the World Trade Center towers. And I understand now that Port Authority headquarters are in one of those buildings somewhere near that location.
Jim, I
yes?
don't know whether we've confirmed that this was an aircraft, or to be more specific, some people said they thought they saw a missile. I don't know how people could differentiate, but we might keep open the possibility that this was a missile attack on these buildings.
Ali, I must say that we have an eyewitness who said it was a large plane that crashed first. And then as we were watching the live picture here in the studio, we saw a plane crash into the other tower of the World Trade Center. And again, let's just to be sure, there it is. There it is. The plane went right through the other tower of the World Trade Center.
That is a very hard thing to watch.
And these are incredible pictures that we're watching this morning. These, thanks to our affiliate WNYW in New York. You are looking at this picture. It is the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, both of them being damaged by impacts from planes. We saw one happen at about maybe 9 minutes before the top of the hour. And just moments ago, so maybe 18 minutes after the first impact, the second tower was impacted by another, what appeared to be another passenger plane. In fact, we've got some tape replay of that. Do we have the tape available right now? Here's the plate. Here is the tape. You see the plane coming in from what looks like the east side, and it blows into the building with the flames and the smoke billowing out the other side of the tower. It's hard for me to tell exactly which is the north side and which is the south side, but it appears it's coming out of the north side there. Incredible pictures. These happened just moments ago. And I believe we have someone with us on the line. Ira Firmer? We have Ira Firmer, the former NTSB spokesman, and you're watching these pictures as well with us, are you not?
Yeah, I'm with you on CNN.
What can you make of what we have seen, and particularly with this replay we just saw moments ago?
That's absolutely inexplicable. There shouldn't be any aircraft in that area, much less something heading what looked like city. That it's just not possible for a pilot during the daytime to have taken a course that would put it right into the World Trade Center. A second occurrence within a few minutes is beyond belief.
And as you can see, there definitely is no weather problem, so weather would be definitely ruled out as a factor in this case.
Yes, the course is a normal course. I mean, for commercial pilots coming into New York, it certainly appeared from the video on CNN that the second aircraft was heading for the tower, and that it was a commercial-sized aircraft.
Could you have a better idea about what size that plane was? It was kind of hard for me to tell. You're an expert in these matters. Could you look at that tape and tell what size that plane was?
It would have to be slowed down, and you'd need more than one angle for it because you'd want to see how many engines on it, the shape of the tail.
Well, if it's possible, gang, could we go ahead and replay that tape right now? Do we have the tape ready of the second plane impacting? We're going to put that tape on in just a second. Here we're about to roll it now. If you can, sir, I don't want you to speculate, but if you can, give us an idea of what you think might be at play here. What kind of plane we're talking about, or at least what size. If we're talking about one that would hold, say, 100 people, one that would hold 300 people. From what you see, we'll have to back the tape up further than that, guys. Here we go.
It's very hard to get a perspective on it. I don't know how far away we are at this, but that looks to me like it could be certainly a passenger jet and one of those aircraft that could hold 100 or more people. I caution you at this point to to wonder whether or not that airplane was occupied by more than just a pilot or crew. We don't necessarily know that there were any passengers aboard that airplane.
Understood. Understood.
Darren Kagan joining the conversation here, sir, but there's no indication that there would be any air traffic on purpose in the area of the World Trade Center at this time of day, or any time of day for that matter.
Well, not directly into the World Trade Center.
No, but even close to it.
You would be clearing the World Trade Center by a few miles. Normal operations. And when you're looking at the pictures that you see with all this smoke and fire and all that, it's just absolutely unbelievable to think that a flight crew that wouldn't ordinarily see the World Trade Center, wouldn't ordinarily be on course, would now...
To New Yorkers who I can see just glued to their television screens.
Jane, we're just going to remind viewers of what we're looking at the moment and run pictures that we've got of a second plane which flew directly into the World Trade Center in New York, causing an enormous explosion. Earlier, another plane had flown into the second block of the World Trade Center. This took place at about 9 a.m. New York time, just as office workers would have been gathering for the start of their day.
Contingency plans and preventative measures to protect civilian infrastructures, you've got to go a long way to come up with a plan that will deal with this type of attack.
Now, Mike, your job is counter-terrorism. You advise people how to stop something like this.
Yeah.
This must be your worst nightmare, because in the end, I mean, I don't know the figures, neither do you, but it could be literally 1 or 2 men on each of those 4 planes who hijacked it and have caused this.
Indeed.
That is not an army.
Indeed.
It's not building missiles.
Indeed.
How do you track people like that?
Indeed. Well, it doesn't need an army to carry out an act of terror, which has been proven time and time again. But the key to preventing terrorism is through good intelligence. Of course, physical security measures have a major role to play, whether it be through scanners, visual profiling and that type of thing at airports. But at the end of the day, it's intelligence that will lead us to the perpetrators. There have been reports coming out of the Middle East about acts like this being planned, and I know that these have been taken seriously by security agencies. Clearly, in this case, the terrorists have the upper hand.
Well, we know that these kind of things have been planned in the past. Sitting in that chair half an hour ago, we were told about an incident that was foiled in 1996 where one Arab terrorist group, and I'm not going to put a name on it, had coordinated attacks on 12 jumbos over the Pacific, and they stopped it. They foiled it just in time. They did get the intelligence then.
Yes, yes. I think what we need to think about now, though, is how we move forward and pick up the pieces, because we've got to resume trade, we've got to resume international flights and internal flights. We have to show the perpetrators, no matter how dastardly this type of act is, that democracies and decent people won't be intimidated and that normal life must carry on. And I think now, when literally the dust has settled, within the coming 24 and 48 hours, we need to give all our energy into determining how we can pick up the pieces and move forward and give some kind of confidence back to the economic and civilian communities that they're not going to be at risk like this on an ongoing basis.
But let's be realistic. You can say that kind of thing. Here we've had the heart of Manhattan devastated. It'll look how long look what's happened in Oklahoma City. That one building there, and look how long it's taken to normalize life around there with the scars and so on. There you've got vast numbers of people who go into work in the financial heart of the world. How do they pick up their pieces?
11号晚上10点左右，纽约世贸中心南侧塔楼再次发生了爆炸，并且倒塌。10点30分左右，北侧塔楼也从顶部开始完全倒塌。同时，美国国务院也发生了一起汽车爆炸案。纽约世界贸易中心的2座塔楼分别建成于1970年，各有110层，高419米。1993年2月份曾经发生过地下停车场爆炸事件。目前，五角大楼监视到了第2架可能被劫持的飞机——宾夕法尼亚州上空的一架747客机坠毁。以色列业已撤走在美国的所有外交官员，美国下令停止美国领空所有飞行。英国、德国等国谴责这种恐怖主义行为。